Anambra government commences 2024 Youth Reformation Redirection Program. ANSA takes proactive measures towards billboard decluttering across Anambra State. 27 judges to face probe for alleged misconduct in Nigeria. Ukraine incursion destroys a key Russian bridge. Before the news in detail, here is a special message. Governor Chukwuma Soludo has come for a total turnaround maintenance of the Anambra State economy and promotion of core Igbo values. Let us give him maximum support for the task ahead. Details of the news. I am Priska Wonko. The Anambra State government has commenced the 2024 Youth Reformation and Redirection Program across the 3 senatorial districts. The program, which is implemented to reach youths of different categories, including the working class, is aimed to equip them with necessary life skills, reorient their mindsets, and imbibe them with strong moral values towards a positive lifestyle. Chibuzo Bidike, our correspondent, was on ground and brings the details.
The vision of the program is to address antisocial activities prevalent among young people and to reintegrate them gainfully and meaningfully into the society as change agents through value reorientation, critical training processes, among others. Declaring the program open in Onitsha North Council headquarters, the Commissioner for Youth Development, Mr. Patrick Agamba, said that the workshop is in line with the determination of Governor Chukwuma Soludo to develop the potential of young people as dependable young human capitals. He said the theme of the program, which is moving from the street to self-realization for self-actualization, will give participants the much-needed direction to live better and more useful lives. And recall that Governor Soludo, upon assumption of office, made a firm promise not only to eradicate different forms of social vices, including touting from the state, but to also institute meaningful programs that will positively change the lives of youths.
The government has mapped out so many youth enterprise development programs that will help transform the lives of our youth socially and economically. These programs include One Youth Two Skills Solution program, which 5,000 youth have been empowered in vocational and entrepreneurial skills, as well as grants of 2 billion for business startup and expansion. The second phase of the program has just been flagged off, and about 8,620 youths are expected to benefit from, including most of you that are here today. The youths are the leaders of today. Today, they can no longer know now. You have the rights and the powers to change a lot of things positively.
Delivering a paper on drug abuse, the Anambra State Commander of National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, NDLUA, Mr. Daniel Onyishi, represented by an assistant commandant in the agency, Mr. Christopher Adabo, advised young people to reevaluate their cycle and try to maximize every meaningful opportunity at their disposal to better their lots. Another speaker at the event, Reverend Goodwill Mba, who spoke on 7 keys to greatness, was of the opinion that self-discovery, diligence, keeping friends that are like-minded, being in good relationship with God, amongst others, are critical to realizing one's dreams in life. Responding on behalf of the participants, Messrs. Anthony Adeba and Chukwuebuka Igwebike thanked Governor Soludo for prioritizing the welfare of youths and giving them opportunities to better themselves, and promised that they will shun drug abuse and other social vices. High points of the program was formal enrollment of the participants into the One Youth Two Skills Solution initiatives.
So let's go back again
The Anambra State Independent Electoral Commission, ANSEC, invites applications from interested eligible citizens of Anambra State for consideration and recruitment as ad hoc staff to serve in various capacities in the forthcoming local government council election. A release signed by the chairman of the commission, Mrs. Genevieve Osakwe, states that the categories and qualification required as follows: local government returning officers, both retired and serving public officers of the federal and state government, academic and non-academic staff of tertiary institutions on salary grade level 15 and above, or equivalent of a master's degree holder. Secondly, ward collation officers were retired and serving public officers of the federal and state local governments, academic and non-academic staff of tertiary institution on salary grade level 14 and above or equivalent of master's degree holder. Supervisory presiding officers were retired and serving public officers of the federal and state governments, academic and non-academic staff of tertiary institution on salary grade level 10 to 13 or equivalent, or a minimum of 1 degree or HND holder. According to the release, 7 public officers of the federal and state government salary grade level 8 to 10 or OND or minimum of secondary school certificate holder can apply for presiding officers, or 7 public officers of the federal and state government salary grade level 4 to 7 OND holder, a minimum of secondary school certificate holder can apply for poll clerks. It further states that 7 public officers of the federal and state government on salary grade level 2 to 3, OND holder, minimum of secondary school certificate holder can apply for the post of poll orderlies. The release explains that the application, which must be accompanied by 2 recent passport-size photographs and biodata stating the name, age, gender, address of current employment status, in case of 7 officers, last place of employment or status of retired officers, 3 references, one of which must be from present employment for 7 officers or last employer for retired officers, and 4 others should be addressed to the chairman, Anambra State Independent Electoral Commission, Kilometer B, plot 1416, Oka Onitsha Expressway, Oka, not later than Sunday, August 25, 2024, while applications for local government returning officers, ward collation officers, supervisor presiding officers, and presiding officers should be submitted to ANSEC headquarters, Oka. An application for poll clerks and poll orderlies are to be submitted at ANSEC local government offices in the 21 local government area in the state. To improve the aesthetics of the state by ensuring that streets and public spaces are not littered with billboards, the Anambra State Signage and Advertisement Agency, ANSER, has commenced billboard decluttering across the state. Billboard decluttering refers to the process of removing or replacing billboards that are no longer serving their intended purposes or are in violation of regulations. Correspondent Joseph Ibocha reports.
Billboards that advertise products and or services that are no longer available or are no longer relevant to the target audience, as well as billboards that have been damaged due to weather or other factors, making them unsightable or dangerous, are targets of the exercise. In his remark during the exercise that commenced at Amansi, Okanot Local Government Area, the Managing Director, Anambra State Signage and Advertisement Agency, ANSA, Dr. Odele Ujubongo, said billboard decluttering is part of responsibilities of the agency and in line with Governor Chukwuma Soludo's vision of making Anambra livable and beautiful. He added that through proper spacing, the exercise will also ensure that clients get values for funds spent on advert placements because of improved viewership.
We will be taking them in series of 100 meters, 200 meters, depending on the size of the board. And we are arranging them that when you are driving, you'll be able to see the advert on the board, and at the same time, in a very, very, very orderly manner, that will make the state also beautiful.
Officials of the Oka Capital Territory Development Authority, ACDA, led by a town planning officer in the agency, Mr. Darlington Wenyim, and Southeast Regional Chairperson of Outdoor Advertising Agency of Nigeria, OAN, Mrs. Vivian Uhomobi, were part of the exercise.
Yeah, I will urge that this decluttering of exercise should be on purely transparent, equity and justice. We wouldn't want to whereby they will give non-partitioners room to take over the industry.
In Oka, Joseph Ebocha reporting for ABS News.
Anambra State Physical Planning Board /ATRA are government agencies authorized to enforce development control. Anambra State Physical Planning Board, they issue demand notices and enforce development control in the state. The chairman of the Anambra State Physical Planning Board, Barrister Chike Madwikwe, made the disclosure at the ferry locations in Abatete and Umoji, Dembele North Local Government Area during a joint task force enforcement exercise. Correspondent A.G. Kabana filed on this report.
Part of the efforts of the board to enforce building control regulations in various parts of the state. This follows concerns about the rise of illegal structures that are not only an eyesore but also pose a threat to human safety. During a recent operation in Idemili North local government area, the task force visited buildings that were deemed to be in violation of the building control regulations. Several buildings were found to have been constructed without the necessary approval from the authorities. The owners of these buildings were subsequently issued with notices of violation and given a period within which to rectify the situation or risk demolition of their structures. Speaking, Barrister Madwekwe emphasized the need for all buildings to conform to the building control regulations. Barrister Madwekwe also reminded the public that the state government has the power to demolish any illegal structure that poses a risk to public safety, pointing out that recently the board has been inundated by reports of a group of people alleged to be members of Current who go about placing demand notices to unsuspecting members of the public, even though the current body in the state has discredited the notices making the rounds.
The law requires that when you start a building, especially for buildings that are above 2 floors, there are certain tests you are required to go and do, non-destructive tests, soil tests. If you do them, then you bring it to us. It's part of the documentation we require for approving, issuing a development permit. So when you are building, you may be approached by the material testing lab. That's in order. But any other person that says they are going around, validating buildings and threatening with demolition, arrest them and bring them to us, or you report them to us and we'll make sure that they face the full embrace of the law.
While calling on property owners to approach the board within the grace period it gave for ratification and harmonization of building plans and approvals, Barrister Madwekwe reiterated that the period will elapse by the end of October, hoping that the increased enforcement of building control regulations will result in safer and more attractive cities across the country.
Anybody that comes for approval within the next it's less than 2 months now. It ends on the 31st of October. If you come within that period, present your papers, and it's approvable, we will waive penalty. If it's approvable, we will approve. If it's not approvable, it will be treated as an illegal structure. And the only solution to an illegal structure is to demolish it.
In her efforts to ensure a conducive environment for effective learning for Idemili South pupils, the Transition Committee Chairman of Idemili South Local Government, Mrs. Amaka Obi, has commissioned a 5-classroom block at Central School in Ogugu, Ojoto, renovated by her administration. She also distributed over 300 learning desks to those selected primary schools in the Idemili South Local Government, according to the number of desks needed by the school. Correspondent Valentine Mbadoha has the report.
Fit for learning in Jesus' name.
The State Commissioner for Education, Professor Ngozi Chumude, performed the official commissioning on behalf of Governor Chukwuma Soludo and as well flagged off the distribution of the new desks. Professor Chumude, in her remark, commended the initiative, which, according to her, was in line with the education agenda of Governor Soludo. She highlighted the importance of quality and affordable education in building a progressive society, adding that Governor Soludo's free education policy and recruitment of over thousands of quality teachers reflects his passion to give Anambra children best education and prepare them to control the future. She commended the people of Idemili South and encouraged them to continue supporting Mrs. Obi to serve them better.
And I want to tell you that the governor, in his zeal to serve Anambra, is out to do everything to make sure that qualitative education comes to the doorstep of every child in Anambra State. And that is why, when we see things like this, it gladdens the heart. Before my call.
Mrs. Amaka Obi, in her address, noted that her passion is to see Idemili South counted among the best local governments in education and other sectors and promised to continue putting her best to achieve that. She expressed gratitude to those who supported the project and called on others to emulate them through adoption of public-private community partnership model of Governor Soludo, even as she noted that government cannot build a viable and progressive society alone, and recounted the progress Idemili South made under her leadership.
Government cannot do everything. We will all join hands together. When the government, I can you that we still need more partnership.
The traditional ruler of Ojoto community, Igwe Gerard Mbamalo, represented by Chief Romeo Anyishia, the President General of Ojoto Akanasato, Chief Ernest Obunnadike, represented the Secretary, Comrade Donkachi Chimbiko, both commended the initiative and assured their support for the TC Chairman, Mrs. Obi, and Governor Chukwuma Soludo-led administration. The headmistress of Central School Enuogugu Ojoto, Ambassador Edith Anibogo, in her vote of thanks, noted that she met the classroom block in a bad shape and appreciated Mrs. Obi for reviving the building.
I was transferred to the school on January 2024. The condition of the 5 classroom block was an eyesore to me. I cried and talked to my God to help. He answered my prayers through our indefatigable local government area chairman, Honorable Mrs. Amakobi, Iyom Idemili. Iyom, I appreciate your efforts.
The National Judicial Council has issued a letter of advice on Oyo State High Court Justice O.M. Olajungur, urging her to be circumspect as a judicial officer before acting, even in the most challenging situation. Justice Olagunju was said to have views on court language in a letter addressed to the Chief Justice of Nigeria, challenging the Council's decision and its policy direction on the appointments of the President of the Customary Court of Appeal in Oyo State. The NJC Director of Information, Soji Oye, in a statement in Abuja, said that the NJC also constituted 4 probe panels to investigate 27 High Court judges over alleged judicial misconducts brought against them. The NJC, at its 106th meeting, presided over by the outgoing Chief Justice of Nigeria, Justice Kayode Ariwola, considered a report of its preliminary complaints assessment committee on 22 petitions written against 27 judicial officers of the Federal and State High Courts. Council at the meeting considered a report of its preliminary complaints assessment committee on 22 petitions written against 27 judicial officers of the Federal and State High Courts and decided to empanel 4 committees to investigate allegations in the petitions that were found meritorious. Ukraine has destroyed a strategically important bridge over the river Seine as it continues its incursion into Russia's Kursk region. Russian officials have been quoted as saying that the operation near the town of Glushkovo has cut off part of the local street. President Volodymyr Zelensky said Ukrainian troops were strengthening their positions in Kursk and called the captured territories an exchange fund, implying that they could be swapped for Ukrainian regions occupied by Moscow. He said that now, in its second wave, it is Ukraine's deepest incursion into Russia since Moscow launched its full-scale invasion more than 2 years ago. According to the report, Ukraine's surprise cross-border operation has resulted in more than 120,000 people fleeing to safety. But amidst Ukrainian claims of territorial gains, Kyiv has repeatedly maintained it does not wish to occupy Russia. Sports. Nigeria's representatives in this year's CAF Champions Club competitions, Enugu Rangers, Reno Stars, Enyimba, and El Kanemi Warriors will get $50,000 each as participation fees in the preliminary stages of the Champions League and Confederation Cup. Nigerian champions, Enugu Rangers, and runners-up Remo Stars are representing the country in the Champions League, while Enyimba will finish third in the MPFL and President Federation Cup winners, El Kanemi Warriors, competing in the Confederation Cup. CAF announced a new monetary reward in a statement, saying that in line with the Confederation African the Football CAF President Dr. Patrice Motsepe's promise to improve club competitions and provide more financial assistance to clubs, the clubs participating in the preliminary stages of the Total Energies CAF Champions League and Total Energies CAF Confederation Cup will receive $50,000 each. Remember, you can follow news and programs on ABS on any part of the world by liking our Facebook page. Follow our Anambra Broadcasting Service. Subscribe to our YouTube page at youtube.com/ABS Television Orca. Follow on Instagram at ABS Radio TV. Follow on X, formerly Twitter, at ABS Radio TV. You can log on to our website at www.absradiotv.com. To end the news this morning, a recap of the main points. Anambra government has commenced 2024 Youth Reformation Redirection Program. Answer: is taking proactive measures towards billboard decluttering across Anambra. 27 judges to face a probe for alleged misconduct in Nigeria. Ukraine incursion has destroyed a key Russian bridge. To end the news, here is the special message again. Governor Chukwuma Soludo has called for a total turnaround maintenance of the Anambra State economy and promotion of Koibo values. Let us give him maximum support for the task ahead. And that ends the breakfast news at this time on ABS Television. Many thanks for watching. I am Priska Onko. Good morning and have a wonderful Sunday.